Hey, this is Rachel from the Life Facilitator, and I am going to do a video sharing how I'm going to be using the printables from this month's Cocoa Daisy Tulip Time kit in my planner setup and in my plan with me. So I'm going to start by walking through the printables with you. So there are two sets of printables that come out every month. And one set of printables are for anybody. So these are free printables that are available to anybody who you like the kit and maybe you didn't get the kit, or you just found Cocoa Daisy and you weren't able to get the kit in time, or to supplement your current kit. So these are all patterns that go with this month's May kit. And you get so many pages of printables, and Cocoa Daisy is incredibly generous in their supply of printables. It's pretty amazing, and I will show you that just with the printables you could pretty much do an entire setup. Would I recommend it? No, you want to get the kits, but in case for whatever reason you can't get the kits, which is actually my scenario, I'm actually not in my home of Miami, and my kit is in Miami, so I'm using the printables to do my setup for the month, and I think it'll be great. And then when I get home, I'll get to dive into my kit and use it another time. This printable is the subscriber printable. So if you subscribe to Cocoa Daisy, any kit, you get this printable every month, and it has a cut file that goes with it, so you can use your Silhouette or Cricut and cut out these instead of fussy cutting them. I will be fussy cutting them because I don't have that capability. And so yeah, so that's what I'm using. I will also be using these for the month. I want to show you that I'm going to walk through the different printable pages. So you have an A5 printable page. Actually, you get two A5 pages. Here's the other A5 page. These are super great to cut out and use as like note pages or actual planner pages. And also you can cut it out and then cut parts of it out for your planner pages, and I'll be showing that a little bit later. So you get two A5 pages. You get a personal size page, and the personal size page has deco around it. Another personal size page with deco around it. A printable standard page. A printable B6 page, and these they're meant to go with the different sizes of printables. So Cocoa Daisy has each of these sizes in their printables, in their inserts, so that's why these are the ones that are showing up. An A6 page, a pocket or a mini page, which is a passport size, and then you get the pocket cards. Excuse me. I'm in Iowa, and there is quite a bit of dust right now, and allergies are rampant. And then pocket card pages, which is super cute. And so yeah, so these are all the pages. Something I love about the printable pages as well is that if you were interested in trying a different size, like let's say you wanted to try the mini size, this is a perfect opportunity to see, like, okay, this is the size, this is how I could use it. You could cut this out and add it to and like make a little notebook out of it, just because you now know the dimensions of it, so that's an option. But it is nice to see, like, okay, yeah, this is an A6 size page. But what I like to do with these is actually cut them out and use the pages in my planner setups, and I will be showing that. So yeah, so those are the pages. Let me show you how I have already started to use them. So I am playing around with a disc bound. I'm playing around with a disc bound standard traveler's notebook setup. And I have a video on my Instagram on how walking through how I did this. But basically, what I did was I just took a standard size traveler's notebook and opened it, took the staples out, cut down the middle, and then punched using my Happy Planner punch. So that's what I did for this. And I'll show you how I've started to, what I've done with some of the insert pages. So I have cut down the A5 page and added it over here. Oop, nope, that was the other way. So I have one of the A5 pages printed and added here, and then the other side of the page is here. So I've just flipped it so that these two elements are across from each other, and then I can do a little weekly down here and then notes up here and other things up here. So this is one layout I created just using the printable. I have all over the place. These are all upside down. These are the standard size pages. So I printed 2 of the standard size pages, and so that this element didn't repeat itself, I used an extra printable scrap and just pasted that to the bottom there. So this is another page. So I'm basically building my own standard size dory. Here is another A5 page that I've trimmed out. So yeah, so those are a couple examples of how you can actually build your own insert with the printables. For the next part, I'm going to share like a little bit more of how I would do a full setup with the printables. So I'm almost done cutting all of my little pieces from the printables, but what I wanted to share is that as I mentioned before, I love to have little crops that I can use to trim out different elements. So for example, this is the card that that talks about the kit. I usually print 2 of these sheets because I end up using the elements of it. So for example, you could cut all over this card to make these little diamonds. And so what I'll end up doing is I'll build a pattern with the cutout pieces. And this is really nice to have as an option, especially if you're working on a blank page. So, for example, if I just had this blank page, I could build an element like this with the printables onto the page. Ooh. So something like that. And so that way you get a little bit of the kit, deco, but then now you've made it your own. So that's an option with, which is something I just love to do with the printables, being able to have little crops that I can, and I'm really into this diamond shape and right now. So that's why I knew I wanted to do diamonds, and so that's what I've done there. And so here's the final planner setup. And the front pockets with some of the butterflies and just a few extra little elements to jazz up the front pockets a little bit. I am using the printable that was created by Jennifer Crowder to make my cover, and then adhered it onto a old Simple Dory craft cover, and then punched it and then added it to my pages. I also added the part of the printable where it says May. That's one of the free printables. and I just cut it to fit using my 2-inch Simple Stories crop. And here's a look at what it looked like without that middle part. And so this is my sort of main setup for my disc-bound traveler's notebook. And I really like how it turned out, and I love that I used all printables for this. Now I would have loved to have been able to use my kit, but you know, when you can't get it, you use what you can and you make it work. So I hope you enjoyed this video and a look at how I set up my planner using the printables. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!